Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. I'm really excited to be with you today. My name is Janelle Villiers, your host of the Janelle Villiers Podcast. And I'm really excited to be here with you today as I feel like today's topic is going to be really helpful for a lot of people. And I only say that this is knowing laughter. This is knowing laughter. I'm not making fun of you because I have been there too. I have been in places and spaces where I'm trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to make this work. And when I say make this work, you guys know we're talking about books, right? So if this is the first time that you've been with me on the Janelle Villiers Podcast, go ahead and put a 1 in the comments. That way I can shout you out. And if this is not your first time, if you are returning, please put a 2 in the comments so I can say hello to you too. I love to shout out and say hello to everyone. And so if you have not been here before, then that is exactly what I talk about, books. It's how we can write the books. How can we edit, self-publish, market the books, make money from the books, right? And it's a topic near and dear to me because I have written a book. I also have a masterclass coming up, Earn 6 Figures by Writing, Publishing, and Marketing Your Book. It's actually 2 nights. So if you're catching this right now, there's still time for you to register. I'll go ahead and drop that link below in the comments as well, so you guys can register really quickly for that. But it's tonight, running from 7 Eastern to 8:30 p.m. Eastern. So I would love to see you there. I'm giving away a lot of jewels on that one. But I'm really excited because today we're going to be talking about a topic that I haven't really gotten too much into in the past. And I want to change that. I want to change that for you. I want to actually give you some advice on this, give you some tips, some tools. And that is, why are your books not selling? Why? Why are your books not selling? What's going on that has them not sell? Perhaps we need to take a look at what you've been doing. Now, I just want to give a disclaimer. I'm going to be talking about tips and tricks for people who are writing nonfiction. This is also not necessarily for children's books either. This is particularly for nonfiction. So if you are a nonfiction author out there, particularly those who are doing how-tos, you are getting the message out there for people who want a solution. They have a problem and your book can help them find the solution to that problem. I'm talking to you. Why isn't your book selling if you already have it out there? Or perhaps you have a book in mind, but you just don't have it out yet. And so I want to talk to you about some things that you should be thinking about before you get the book out there. So that way you can make sure that it does sell. And a lot of this has to do with the fact that it's not necessarily visibility. I want to get to that myth, number one. I think people are like, oh, enough people don't know about it yet. Maybe people do know about it, but there's some confusion around it. There's not enough clarity. So more eyes on your book will not necessarily help if people don't immediately understand why it matters to them, right? So you want to explain why it matters, right? Many authors believe that sales equal exposure, but sales actually equal clarity plus trust. Clarity plus trust. Readers decide in seconds whether a book is for them or not. And if they can't quickly identify themselves in the message that your book is sharing, then honestly, they're just going to move on. So what can you do? First thing that you can do, you can ask yourself, who is this book for and what problem does it solve? Who is this book for and what problem does it solve? And if a stranger reads your title and description, can they instantly say, this is for me? And then finally, rewrite your book description using the language your reader already uses. If you use the language that your reader already uses, then it'll be much clearer for them. Oh yeah, this is for me, right? Because you're speaking their language, right? So clarity plus trust. So you want to be clear, number one. Okay, your book message, if it's too vague or too broad, that could also be an issue, right? So trying to appeal to everyone causes readers to feel like the book is not really meant for them. And I know that goes counter to what you're thinking, right? You're like, no, but my book really is for everyone. Like it can help everyone. And so you actually have to expand your mind to the possibility that it's actually too broad. And I'm going to need you to actually be more specific. So I think, again, broad messages feel safe, but they're not safe to buyers. And so readers want to feel seen, not included. I think that's really important. Readers want to feel seen, not necessarily included. And so what you're doing is you're building precision in exactly who you're talking to, that one person. Speaks to that one person, because that precision in who you're speaking to and who you're helping builds trust faster than popularity ever could. All right. So you want to be really clear in your message. You want to be extremely specific. So here's some things that you can do for that. Some people are in the comments. I just want to shout them out. Hi. One person's saying hello, just saying hello. Hello. So going back to my notes because I don't want to miss anything. So, right, you want to narrow your audience before you expand it. So use specific outcomes instead of general promises. Use very specific outcomes and replace phrases that that sound like this will and help you improve your life, right? That's kind of super general. And then change that to help you make and then enter specific change. Help you make 6 figures by publishing and marketing your book. Help you write your book in 90 days. I've seen a bunch of challenges like that. Today, I just learned about a book that will help you, 14 tips to help you write your dissertation in less than a year, right? So things like that. So the next thing that I want to talk about is that readers buy outcomes, not effort, which actually has to do with the 2 titles that I just talked about a little while ago, right? So no one buys a book because it was hard for you to write. They buy it because it helps them change something, right? So you want to explain that you want to explain exactly what change or what outcome your reader is going to get after they read your book. And I think a lot of times we talk about the process instead of the actual transformation. So the outcome that's going to happen, right? So readers care less about how the book was created and more how it will help them. The clearer the outcome, the easier it is to have a book be bought, essentially, right? The easier it is for someone to want to buy the book. So here's some tips for this, right? You want to identify the before and after that will happen when your readers read your book. What are they like before? And then what's going to happen for them afterwards? You want to really focus on the transformation. So you're focusing on the transformation, not you as the author. You're focusing on the transformation. And then you want to highlight what life looks like after they actually use the tips that you're giving them in the book. If you highlight those are going to be super helpful. Yeah, exactly, Melissa. What problem are you solving for them? That's going to be huge. So okay, so here's the other thing that I was thinking about. When your book isn't positioned for a solution, this is also going to hurt your sales, right? So basically, if your book does not clearly solve a problem, we just talked about this, readers won't prioritize it. And that's why it's not selling. So a book competes, let me tell you what books are competing with: podcasts, YouTube videos, courses, just random people on social media, right? It does not feel essential. It becomes like an option because there's all these other choices that people have. So you want to make sure that when you position your book, that you position it for the transformation, for the outcome. And this is what makes the difference between interest and action. So one of the things that you can do is you can clearly name the problem your book addresses. So clearly name the problem your book addresses, then explain the problem, explain why this problem matters. And remember, if you're speaking directly to one person, this is how this will help. Don't think about everybody, just think about one person. And then show how your book fits into the reader's current reality. How can it fit into their current reality? Oh, this is a great question. Do I have videos for fiction writers? I have a ton of videos if you go to the live section of my YouTube. Where I talk about both fiction and nonfiction. So I do have some more videos about that. But today I am talking about nonfiction, to be clear. That's a good question. Okay. The 5th thing that I want to talk about that could be hurting the sales of your book is that trust has not been built yet. So people do not buy books from strangers. They buy from voices they trust. That's a big thing, right? It really is. So trust is built before the sale, not at checkout. content should educate and reassure before it promotes. So whatever you're doing on social media, emails, maybe you have a blog, a vlog, whatever you have, it should be a lot of educating and reassuring people before you promote the fact that you have a book that could also do the same thing. Selling too early can push readers away. So you want to make sure that you don't do that. So some things that you can do: share insights, not just links. Teach pieces of your framework before asking for the sale of the book, and then show consistency in message, and make sure that that is the same message across all platforms. So just for your guys' sake, right? Like, I'm doing what I'm saying right now. This video is going, or this recording is going live to Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn all at the same time. So everybody gets the same message. And so one way to feed one bird with many breadcrumbs. So the other thing I wanted to talk about is your book could be disconnected from your brand. This could be another reason why it's not selling. So when your content and your book feel unrelated, readers essentially hesitate. So readers should see your book as a natural next step. And so if your content and book solve different problems, that's when trust starts to erode, to be honest, right? People are looking for consistency. And if they don't get it, or if it feels weird, they're like, and then they hesitate and probably won't buy the book. So you want to make sure that everything is aligning, that the message is consistent, because that's what creates confidence in you. That's what builds trust in you. So here's some things that you can do. Make sure your content reflects the same themes as your book. Just make sure your content reflects the same theme as your book. And that should be pretty easy. You could take just parts of your book, and that's what ends up being your content on social media. Again, blogs, vlogs, emails, all the things. You want to reference your book naturally in teaching moments. So you can say things like, in my book, I talk about XYZ, right? Like as you're speaking. And then you want to use the same language in your posts. And that's also language that you find in the description of your book as well. It's a really easy way to fix that, to make sure that it's consistent. You can use the exact same words. And so actually, this is the last thing. So one more thing I wanted to say that could be the reason why your book isn't selling is it could be that you're treating promotion or marketing like the fix instead of the final step. And so the key here is that promoting your book, marketing your book works best when the foundation is already strong. So what I mean by that is, marketing basically amplifies what's already out there, right? It's going to expand what already exists or magnify what already exists. So if the message is unclear, then basically you're just promoting confusion. You're just magnifying confusion. You don't want that. So fixing fundamentals, will save you time and money. So you want to make sure that you really get those foundational aspects in place that I talked about before. And so some things that you can do, you maybe want to revisit your positioning before you start posting more, before you start advertising and marketing more. Improve your book description and messaging first before you start telling the world about your book, and focus on clarity and trust before visibility. Okay, so I've talked about a lot of different things. You guys know that I love to recap, so let me just recap. I had 8 different ways for why your book may not be selling. Number 1 is that visibility without clarity basically doesn't convert. So you want to make sure that you have a really clear message and people understand exactly what your book is supposed to be doing. The second reason why your book may not be selling is that your book message is too vague or too broad. So remember, you're not trying to appeal to everyone, right? Trust comes when people feel seen, not when they feel included. So focus on that. Focus on really understanding like the one person. Think of one person. If you think of one person who this book is for, that'll help you really nail it down. And I know it feels scary because you're like, it could be for everyone. But believe me, when you like really focus in on that one person, that will do it. Narrow your audience before you expand it. Okay. The third reason why your book may not be selling is that readers are really interested in buying the outcome. What's the transformation that's going to come from reading this book, not the effort that it took for you to write it. The fourth reason why your book may not be selling is because you're not positioned as a solution. So people don't understand what clearly your book could be able to solve for them. The fifth reason why your book may not be selling is that the trust just hasn't been built yet. You've been posting a lot of things, but you haven't really been giving a lot of education. You haven't been giving a lot of value first. You went straight to buy my book. So you want to put out the value first and help people first. That's what starts to build this credibility, build this trust. Your book, the sixth reason why your book may not be selling is because your book is disconnected from your brand. And so when your content and your book feel unrelated, basically readers hesitate, and you just don't want that to be the reason why they don't buy, right? And then finally, you are treating promotion like the fix instead of the final step. And so remember, whatever you are promoting, whatever you're marketing, only amplifies or magnifies what's already there. And you don't want to magnify confusion. Definitely don't want to amplify confusion. You want to make sure you're amplifying clarity. So make sure you work on your messaging and exactly what transformation your book will help people with before you start going out there and marketing. So I want to encourage all of you, if you have found this helpful, please, yes, Melissa, I totally agree. Don't be pushy salespeople. No one likes to do that, and no one likes to be that, right? That's the honest truth. So the good news is you don't have to, because I'm not recommending that you do that. Give a ton of value first. And so at this point, if you've been getting a lot of value, if you found this really helpful, go ahead and put a V in the comments and let me know. If you have any other questions, go ahead and put those in the comments. I'm really excited to answer any of your questions. And if you're watching this on the replay, same thing. Go ahead and put your questions in the comments. I would really love to answer any of your questions. But I really want you guys to, at this point, just kind of pause a little bit from where you are and just assess instead of pushing harder, faster, right? Just take a moment, right? Just like when someone has a bow and arrow, like an archer, they have to pull the arrow back before it flies, right? It speeds off to the target. I want you guys to take a moment and pretend like you're that arrow and you're just pulling back for a second to take a look at what you've got going on with your book. Make sure you identify your ideal reader very clearly. Reader, hear what I'm saying, reader, not readers. I want you to think of one person, that ideal reader. Who is that person? And understand who they are and what their problem or pain point is clearly. And then clarify the transformation that your book offers for them. Then from there, then you can refine the book description to focus on outcomes, perhaps align your content with your book's core message, right? You can start realigning. You're probably going to see a lot of that with me too. And then also build trust through education before asking for the sale. Just give value, and that always helps people to want to know more because they already trust you and they know that by working with you, they can get to the next place. So I really loved, yes, Melissa, exactly. Pause and assess. The big picture directs the strategy. 100% agree. All right, guys. So again, if you have found value from this, please put a V in the comments, even if you're watching the replay. If you have more questions, please put the questions in the comments. I read all the questions. I will definitely get back to you. And I just want to leave you with this. You do not need more people seeing your book. You need the right people understanding it. All right, everyone. Again, hope that was helpful. I will be back next week, same time, same place, talking about more things that could help you with your book or interviewing someone who's written one. See you guys later. Have a great rest of your night.